Hi, Catherine.
Hey, Henry.
Hi, fellow students and curious, brilliant minds. Welcome back to the Teaching and Learning Center. I keep on wanting to say the Learning Code. That is a different thing. um, we want to remind you all that we are here for you. These videos are to help break the ice in understanding where we come from, how we think, and addressing some topics that we wished were addressed in our traditional educational classes, but oftentimes are left out. And that goes from English to math to physics to biology, you name it, including vocational trade school education. These conversations are not very well collected and articulated through. So I think Catherine has a little bit of an introduction before we get into our topic of scholarships.
I think one of the things that we really wanted to let students know is that it is possible to write and to be able to finance part of your education by doing that. And a lot of students don't really think about this much. And we think that it's really important for students to realize that the writing that you do in your English classes can go beyond the boundaries of the English class or the assignment that you've been assigned. So we're hoping that today in our discussion we can help you to learn a bit more about how some of the writing that you're doing in your English classes or in your writing heavy humanities or social science classes can actually be useful for you financially and as you're thinking about future projects and work that you want to undertake.
Just to add on really quickly to that, even if you are a STEM focused student, writing has large rewards in that field. Being able to articulate math, computer science, physics in a concise, coherent, articulate way makes you a competitor in being able to display your knowledge. So, okay, let's get on with the first question, which is, how may we make money from writing as a student? Like, we're just going to address the elephant in the room. I can actually start this one off if that sounds good, Catherine. I like to begin by saying 23 years of my life, I dreaded reading and writing. I rarely experienced positive moments and feelings in reading or writing. It wasn't until I took Valerie Fong, who was in English faculty at Foothill College, where I immediately realized reading and writing is super valuable. But not only that, it completely changes the way I observe and learn from my day-to-day experiences. But enough with that. I think we are here to learn how we can make money from writing. And I would say I've been lucky enough to have been selected for a number of scholarships at my time during Foothill College and elsewhere. Scholarship writing is one that you do not have to pay back, so you can think of it as quote unquote free if you have the time and privilege to sit down and write about your life. So let me repeat, you do not pay back scholarships to the school. Scholarships are ones that you earn and that can act as money to finance whatever you would like to finance. The question is how. So I guess scholarships is one way to make money from being able to write effectively. And I can empathize with students because for 23, 24 years of my life, I'm like, writing to make money. I can't even write a good essay that my English teacher notices, or I can't even write a essay that is free of red pen marks. Those are what we might call learning opportunities for you to refine your skill and craft of writing, and for you to project your voice and find your narrative. So stick with it. Your grade does not determine your potential on being able to write to make money. And scholarships is only one form of doing so when you can really begin developing that skill. So on to you, Catherine. How might have you made money through writing in your professional life or your life as a student?
Yeah, so there are a couple of ways. So scholarships is definitely one of them. So when I was a grad student, I had to write essays in order to apply for scholarships so that I could be able to pay rent over the summer, or so that I could buy groceries during the academic year. So that was one. But grant writing is also something else. So for those of you who are interested in researching, who are interested in having the money in order to start research projects or projects that you're working on for school or for your own professional and personal interest, grants are basically money that you can get through an application process that basically will pay for things like travel so that you can do research, or that can pay for equipment, or that can pay if you need to hire someone to help you do some work that's associated with your research. So those are just a couple of different ways that you would use writing in order to basically get money to finance your education or to finance your research interests. And most of those scholarships and grant writing processes, they require personal statements, they require statements about your research, they require statements about how you came to do this work. Many of them require things like cover letters. At some point, if you decide that you want to become a professor, or if you become a supervisor, you'll actually have to write the letters of recommendation that students will ask you for when they are applying for scholarships. So there are a number of ways that the writing plays a significant role in both earning money yourself so that you can finance part of your education, or helping others so that they have the opportunity to make money and finance their projects and their education.
Catherine's response reminded me to highlight a transformational power of writing, reading and writing, really. I have 3 jobs at the moment that I'd like to bring to attention. One is a equity grant. Don't worry about if you don't know what a grant is, just think about it as money. One is as an OpenStax intern, and another is as a lead research assistant in the College of Education at San Jose State. For every single one of those 3 opportunities that I ended up kind of seizing and making the most out of, I not only had to write, but before the writing, I had to really think. I had to have conversations with people about what those positions mean. And now all 3 of those positions are paying me. So sometimes before we can even get to the writing, we have to think about presenting ourselves in an effective way and thinking about our values and our purpose. And writing is just it can act as a tool to sharpen your presentation skills and thinking and speaking skills. And it is a tool that cannot be replaced. You can't use an app to replace it. You can't have someone else write your essay. Tutors and strong teachers and friends can help you in this journey. And that's why what we're here to do, to take luck out of the equation and make that journey a little bit less painful. So just wanted to highlight that and remind you, come see us, come see some of our first drafts of our horrendous writing, and you will realize we all started somewhere. I still remember the day when I could barely compose a sentence. So that was our first question related to how to make money from writing.